Hey, look, I'm bald. Anyways, Rob here with a little R&R. It's been a long time since I've done a video. So, the issue that I'm having is that we sprung a leak in our spare bathroom toilet. It ended up being the flush valve at the back of the toilet where the water comes in. Had a crack and it was spraying everywhere. I tried JB Weld, that didn't work. 2 coats of JB Weld still didn't work, so that was unfortunate. So what I did is I took the toilet apart and I called the RV store, and they actually have a spare part, so it's awesome. Rachel's going to pick it up on the way home, but I wanted to show you the deconstruction. So I probably should have recorded this first before taking it apart, but it was actually really simple. There's just your 2 screws, like a regular toilet at your house. You know, you've got your 2 screws that go into your flange there. I'm covering it up so the stink doesn't come up for the meantime until I get a new part. But what broke, and I just took the seat off the toilet, but what broke, and you can see I got the JB Weld on it here still, is there's a crack in this, I don't even know what you call it, but this black part that you screw the hose into, there was a crack in it, and the weld didn't hold, so I had to take this whole thing out here, which is just called the flush valve. I'm going to take that out and replace it. It was $50 at the RV store for the new part. So Rachel's going to pick that up, and then we'll do another part of the video on how to fix it. So there are a few things I want to point out. The first is turn off the water. Also, cut some tape beforehand. The reason I say that, let me bring you down here for a second. Right there. When you remove the toilet, that's just an empty hole right to your black tank. Right to your black tank. Your black tank holds your poop. But basically all you do is you unscrew the water from the back. Again, make sure your water is turned off, but you unscrew that from here. And this is JB water weld that didn't hold, so you wouldn't actually see this. It's just going to be all black. So once that's unscrewed, then you go in, you just undo your parts at the bottom, lift the whole thing off. It's super easy, super light. And now I have to take this part apart. So I just used a butter knife. But basically, there's this little part here you pry up so that this little white notch right here, see if I can see it, that white notch has to come out of the hole. It just fits in the hole. You have to lift that out first, and then once it's out, you just pull forward. So you just pull the whole unit forward. And the metal part still stays attached, and then you just kind of wiggle it because it has a weird bend like that. That's how you get it out. So to put it back in, when you get your new part, and I'll show you that after, you'll stick the metal part in, and then there's this little tongue and groove option over here. So you just want to make sure it gets into the tongue and groove, just like that, and then you can push it backwards, just like that. I got the new part from the RV store, which replaces the old part that had the crack right around there. Now we're going to reattach it. So I reattached this hose back on. This isn't a pressurized hose here, so it literally just slides into the groove. Like, there's nothing to it. You just slide it in, and the water will shoot out from there. So it's not pressurized. So next is to put this in. And this might be hard to do with one hand, but the goal is that there with the O-ring around it. Come on, focus. Okay. So with the O-ring around it, that is what's going to attach to that hose. And then this metal bar here that my fat fingers are in the way of. Let me see. Hold on. Anyway, that metal bar attaches into this little piece here. It just goes down. And that's what controls the mechanism for opening and closing the middle hole thing there. So, I'm trying to make this tongue and groove fit into there, and I had a eureka moment. If you just hold this lever sideways, it gives you enough room to slide it in. So as you want to slide that tongue and groove, just pull this a little bit, and that slides in perfectly. I just can't do it with two hands, or one hand rather. but that's how easy it is. Alright, so got that put in. Like I said, metal part goes in there, tongue and groove goes in. Then you got this little tiny notch that has to go in the hole there like that so it doesn't move around. Yeah, it kind of is supposed to go in that hole there. Now you can see like the tongue and groove is set in properly. That's just not quite fitting in as intended here. It's not the end of the world because it's going to be held in place with a screw over here anyways. That's just to prevent it from coming backwards. And you can see here that enough of that little thing is fitting through the hole there that it's not going to be pushing backwards. So I'm not even concerned about that. That's a minor detail. Now it's to simply reattach this hose to the nozzle there. Then we'll put a new gasket on the bottom, which, there's already a good gasket on the bottom. Never mind. Alright, so as you can see, I've reattached the hose here. It's kind of blurry, I apologize. Let's see if I can focus that a bit more. Maybe not. Anyways, it's like I said, this is not pressurized. The water just kind of shoots out when you open the lever. So it just simply slides over, and they gave me an O-ring with it. So really, really simple. That's all done. This is done. So now what we do is we're going to set the toilet back into the place. And screw it down into the flange, the black flange. And then I'm going to reattach this water. So right here, it just twists. I'm going to reattach that to here. And then I'm going to put the seat back on, and we should have a fully functioning toilet. So next video, I will show you it reattached, but probably without the seat cover. So you can see I've got it put back into place. It's a little bit of wiggle room, but that'll resolve itself once I reattach the nuts here to the T-bolts under. I didn't put... So when I bought the new valve replacement, it did come with a new seal, a new gasket, but honestly the one that was there was still in really good shape, so I figure I'll just keep the new one as a spare in case I ever do get any leaks down here. But it was in good shape, there was no tears, so I'm just going to leave the old one. Alright, so I've gotten them all tightened up. She's nice and firm, not going anywhere. That hose gets reattached to the part I just bought. So then you just go back outside and turn your water on. I don't hear any leaks. That's good. Before it was shooting right out. Everything's good. We've got water, which goes down to the sewer. No leaks back here. We're good. We've got a working toilet. Yeah. There you have it. So, if you ever get a crack in your... This is a Thetford toilet. If that ever gets a crack and it doesn't work, not hard to fix. Honestly, taking the whole toilet out, as long as you turn off the water first, and you're okay with the smell and you put some tape, the whole process of taking the toilet out is maybe 5 minutes. 10 if you're slow. Replacing the part was another 5 minutes. Getting the part from the RV store was the longest part. And then putting it back was another 10 minutes. So you can fix your whole toilet in a half hour. That's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm sure we'll post more videos at some point, but other than that, as things break, we'll post videos on how to fix them.